In its recent history, Sweden has been at the forefront of environmentalism and sustainability. For example, in 1967, it became the first country in the world to pass an Environmental Protection Act, and with that, the Swedish Environmental Protection Agency was founded.
The Protection Act established licensing requirements for environmentally damaging activities, helping them become illegal in Sweden. Today, because of this act, Sweden continues to strive towards an emission-free society through its use of energy, waste management and transportation, and urban development. Sweden is one of the leading countries in the race against time to convert from a carbon-based economy to one based on renewable energy. By 2012, 50% of energy consumption in Sweden was supplied by renewable sources, beating by 8 years the target they set themselves of 2020. At present, hydroelectricity, nuclear and biofuels are the most prominent energy sources for the country. Although they are currently in the process of decommissioning several nuclear plants and replacing them with more wind farms and hydropower. Two of the main reasons for Sweden's relative success in creating an energy-conscious culture are their use of policies, such as the Energy Declaration Policy, and their use of innovative designs. The Energy Declaration Policy means that the energy consumptions of all buildings are published and compared. This encourages a more environmental and responsible approach to energy usage. Sweden has also begun implementing passive houses. These are well-insulated homes which harness the heat from the bodies of occupants and the appliances they use to keep the houses warm. This idea has also been used in a building in Stockholm, which uses the heat generated by the commuters passing through the central station, reducing the building's carbon footprint and their energy bill by 25%. With the decrease in price of renewable energy sources and the total energy consumption in Sweden falling, Sweden's target of running on 100% renewable energy by 2040 is looking like it could become a reality.
Recycling and sorting are taken very seriously culturally amongst most Swedes. The country aims at changing behaviors of people living in the communities and making waste management accessible to everyone. They provide infrastructure so that everyone can easily do their part in recycling. Categories would include clear glass, dark colored glass, paper, cardboard, plastic, and metal. In comparison to other countries that are part of the Confederation of European Waste-to-Energy Plants, Sweden is a leader in waste management. Less than 1% of their waste goes to landfill. 53% is used for waste-to-energy. When shopping, there's a higher tax on cans and plastic goods. Sweden incentivizes recycling for aluminum cans such as beer, soda, and plastic bottles such as juice and water bottles. These incentive recycling areas are in common grocery stores, and people are able to use this money to make other purchases. Sweden has long had a can and bottle deposit system that gives people money back when they recycle since 1984 for the aluminum cans and 1994 for the plastic bottles. Each year, Swedes recycle 1.8 billion bottles and cans that would otherwise be thrown away using the so-called pant system. It even has its own verb in Swedish, panta. The recycling rates for 2019 was 85.8 total recycling rate, both aluminum cans and PET bottles. 2.15 billion cans and bottles were recycled, and 208 packages per person in Sweden. The food waste is treated in integrated systems and recycled as district heating, electricity, biogas, biofertilizer, and materials. Different treatment methods are used depending on the nature of the waste, as to make it possible to use the waste as a resource. The aim for Sweden has been to use 50% for natural fertilizer and 40% to generate energy.
One of the most effective ways Sweden is working to reduce carbon emissions and fight climate change is through their urban planning and public transportation systems. From transforming neighborhoods to creating an efficient public transportation system with one fare card, Swedish cities have found numerous ways they can become more eco-friendly. Stockholm is considered by many to be a world leader for sustainable capital cities. With one fare card, a commuter can switch from the subway to a bus, tram, or commuter train. Given that most of the system's lines run every 5 to 10 minutes, doing this is made easy too. These innovations in public transport allowed Stockholm to reduce its carbon dioxide emissions by 25% in only 10 years, and looking forward, it only appears that this amount is only going to increase. In addition to efficient transportation, Stockholm also receives 100% of its energy from renewable sources, and 99% of its solid waste is recycled. One specific area of Stockholm that has been especially efficient in its urban planning and sustainability is the district of Hammarby Sjöstad. Once known for being one of the most polluted and unsafe places in the city, an ambitious redesign project in the 1990s transformed it into a model eco-city. A vast majority of Hammarby's energy comes from sources that would have otherwise been pollutants. Heating and cooling, for example, is created using purified wastewater. Meanwhile, combustible waste is used for heating and cooling. All around the district, new types of fuel cells, and solar panels are being tested out to promising results. As a result of these innovations, Hammarby Sjöstad has an environmental impact 30 to 40% less than its neighboring districts. Stockholm isn't the only city in Sweden that is making an effort to reduce climate change, however. On the opposite side of the country, Gothenburg has been crowned as the most sustainable destination in the world for 4 years straight. Since the mid-1980s, the city has transformed from a dreary, polluted port to a cultural hub with an efficient public transportation system run entirely on renewable energy, plentiful green spaces, and a strict environmental regulation for restaurants and hotels. One hotel in Gothenburg that has become a role model for sustainability is the enormous Gothia Towers. The 1,200-room hotel is fueled entirely by wind power, with 94% of all of its waste recycled. This model has been mirrored in restaurants and various other places throughout the city.
Because of all the steps Sweden is making towards sustainability, their current environmental performance index is 78.7, the 8th largest in the world. This score is based on the health indicators such as air quality and sanitation and ecosystem vitality indicators such as biodiversity and pollution emissions. That being said, Sweden is still far from its end goal. By 2045, Sweden hopes to be 100% fossil-free and rely completely on renewable energy. In the coming years, we will see how close they get to that goal.